One of the easiest ways to make money on social media is through affiliate marketing. While the first real business that I ever launched was an online course, the first online success that I had in business was through affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is essentially a strategy where you get to talk about and promote the products that you love and that you use, and then when other people buy those products, you get a commission fee. On Amazon, that commission fee is like less than 1%, but some people offer upwards of 50, even 80% affiliate commission. And if you're an affiliate for a high ticket product, like let's say a multi-$1,000 course or mastermind, you could be getting paid thousands of dollars for each conversion. And of course, besides just the monetary benefit, the biggest benefit of affiliate marketing is that that's all you have to do. All you have to do is promote and sell the thing. You don't have to build it. You don't have to manage the back end and all the tech. You don't have to distribute it or ship it if it's a physical product. You don't have to deal with customer service. If it's a course, you don't have to record all the videos. If it's like a mastermind or a training, you don't actually have to be the expert. You can just use someone else's expertise, promote it to your audience, and get paid for doing so. I believe that every single entrepreneur, whether you have 100 followers or 100 million, should be doing affiliate marketing. And I say that because, like I said, I got started when I had 100 followers with affiliate marketing, and I saw the difference that it made for me. But now that I'm at this stage where I'm networking with these other top entrepreneurs and these people with massive followings and massive audiences, they're still being affiliates themselves. They are still being affiliates for each other's launches and each other's products because it's just a no-brainer. It really simplifies the process, yet has a huge income and earning potential. And I tell you all of this because today's episode of Build Your Tribe is with Carolina Milan, and she's an expert in many things. She is a powerhouse when it comes to personal branding, AI, and she really is best at helping coaches and course creators scale their businesses online. There's one thing that stood out to me recently. I was a part of an affiliate launch. I was, not to spoil the beans or anything or share too much of what we're going to get into in this episode, but I was an affiliate for Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins' most recent launch. I'm actually their Instagram expert inside their new course/academy. And so I was an affiliate. I was like, sure, of course, if you guys are going to make me your Instagram expert and you're going to trust me to teach your audience about Instagram, well then I will, of course, in turn, promote and talk about your product. I'll promote and talk about this, online academy because I believe in it. And I believe that, there's a lot of other really great knowledge and experts in here. And it was a great product. But during that launch, they would send out an affiliate leaderboard and say, here are the top 10 people who have generated the most leads. Here's the 10 people who have made the most sales. And Carolina, today's expert, was always in the top 5. Like whoever you're thinking of right now is like a major big name in online marketing and digital entrepreneurship. She was right up there with them. These are people with millions and millions of followers, yet Carolina, who's got about 150,000 on Instagram, is right there with them. And that's through a few things. That's through some of her affiliate marketing strategies. That's through her email marketing strategies. And these are all things that I get to pick her brain about during today's episode. We'll get to hear about her entire journey and how she started way back in the days of when Twitter was still called Twitter and when Twitter was the darling of social media, when Twitter was what was happening. I get to pick her brain about her journey and her way of growing through social media and growing alongside all of these different changes and algorithms and platforms and building the expertise that she now has today. We also talk about deciding what language do you even put your content in. She's from Chile and Spanish is her primary language, yet she speaks English in today's episode, and she spoke English in the majority of her content for the majority of her time growing online. That, of course, leads us into the conversation of niche and when do you pivot and how do you niche down and how does your niche fit into personal branding. All of that and more is what's going to be shared in today's episode. So without further ado, here is our full conversation. Carolina, welcome to today's episode of Build Your Tribe. I'm so excited to have you on today.
Hi, Brock. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I would love if you could begin by introducing yourself to our audience and anyone who hasn't had the pleasure of coming across you on social media or your podcast yet.
Absolutely. Well, in short, I'm Carolina Millán. I'm from Chile. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 14 years. I started back in 2010. I quit my first and only job that year to pursue my dream, which was to have an online business, to have something that, at the beginning would give me the freedom that I was looking for. And at the same time, to be able to help other people with what I was learning. So I've been sharing my journey ever since then. Something that I'm really passionate about is digital marketing, social media, everything that involves helping other people grow their business, personal branding, all that cool stuff. And so, yeah, I've had a lot of ups and downs over the past 14 years, as you can imagine. But
Yeah.
luckily, more ups than downs for sure.
I love that. I love that. Speaking back about that original online business that you started back in 2010, can you tell me more about what that was and how you got the idea to start that initial business?
Absolutely. So, a couple of years before, I had been, I was at my first job, fresh out of university. I was following, the regular career path, get a job, study, get a career. And so once I was at my job, I realized, hey, this isn't for me, I think. I don't want to be stuck in a cubicle for the rest of my life. Let's see what's out there. This was 2008. So you were not even born. Um, you were like a little kid. So there were limited things back then. And one of the business opportunities that I ran into was multi-level marketing or network marketing. And so I gave that a shot, failed miserably. But thanks to that, I discovered digital marketing. I discovered social media. I discovered a few concepts that I didn't know: attraction marketing, personal branding, all these things. And I discovered that it was indeed possible to have a business online and not depend on other people, be able to travel and all the things that I wanted to do. So I started learning more about that. And then I would say, I think like a few, maybe 2 years later, I was finally able to quit my job. And I started working as a freelance social media manager for a few local businesses here in Chile. And that started almost by accident because, I started using social media, building my brand. I started my blog, and business owners were like just asking me for help. Like, hey, can you help us with our Twitter strategy, which was very popular back in 2010? Can you help us with our Facebook strategy? Yeah, sure. And so when I got a couple clients, I quit my job, started doing that. And a couple years later, I discovered affiliate marketing, another very interesting business model. And that's where things really took off. When I started doing affiliate marketing in 2012, I started like making like an income that would really allow me to have that freedom that I was looking for. And from there, I started, I learned a lot about affiliate marketing. I learned a lot about traffic, funnels, like all these concepts that were unfamiliar to me. And then I started, teaching other people and realized that, hey, if this works for me, it can work for other people. So I started doing some coaching courses. And at the time, I was doing everything mostly in English. Uh, and then I started doing it again in Spanish when I realized that the Spanish market was finally evolving because we're always a bit behind over here. When I saw that there was a demand in my own language, then I went back to mostly Spanish. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I started doing. I made a lot of mistakes. I fell for a few scams here and there. I obviously quit the MLM somewhere down the road. And yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. There's so many great things that I want to unpack from your story, and we'll definitely come back to talking about affiliate marketing and even talking about speaking in your language versus in English, and kind of going back, because I think that's so interesting and definitely something I want to talk more about. But I loved at the beginning of your story how you said it was kind of like an organic, you almost fell into it. It was like, hey, I had this skill set, so this company was like, hey, can you do this for us? Or this business said, can you run our Twitter for us? And so it very much organically grew from there. And I love that you also admitted that, there have been ups and downs and there have been failures and there have been challenges, so many challenges along the way, but you continue to learn from those things and continue to grow. So I'm curious, when you were first getting started, how did you kind of get your name out there and start getting, found as a social media manager and just like when, day one, before you had even really launched and grown very much on your own social media, how were you found?
Well, it was at the beginning, I started doing my research on Google, like how to do, because I was doing this network marketing business. The first thing I Googled was network marketing. How does this business work? How do I get results in this thing? And that's how I discovered several experts, mostly in the US, who were talking about lead generation and personal branding and how you can use social media to attract people to you to build a personal brand. And so I started following their advice. So basically, it was, and I don't know if you're familiar with Perry Belcher, um,
Hmm.
but he was one of the first people I followed back then. And he was doing these YouTube videos, bad lighting, bad everything, but the content was so good. And he
Hmm.
even mocked himself, like my videos, you have this dirty whiteboard and all of that. But as long as you do good content, that's what matters. It doesn't matter so much what you look like. It doesn't matter so much, the lighting and all this silly things that people worry about. It's more about the message. So I listened to him, and he was like, you need to be, like I said, at that time, Twitter was the social media darling. So he was like, you need to be on Twitter and you need to create conversations and you need to be remarkable and blah, blah, blah. So I'll do that. So I started following people. I started interacting with people. Then he would say, you got to add value. Okay. So I would start, reading blogs and learning new things. And then I would share what I was learning. And so I started gaining a following slowly but surely, and sharing tips, sharing advice, built my blog. And then people started following me and they were asking, it seems like you know about this stuff. So the key is, if you want people to perceive you as somebody who knows what they're talking about, then you should know what you're talking about. Like that should be like, you should add value. What does it mean to add value? It means precisely that you share something that can lead people to a result, big or small. And so they get the taste of that. And so before I even advertised myself as, hey, I help people with their social media, people started asking me. So it seems like it was easier back then. It wasn't easier than it is today. I mean, back in 2010, there were less people using social media. People called it a fad. It's going to go
Hmm.
away, right? It's smoke, you know. So it's not really like companies didn't take social media seriously. So it was
Hmm.
small businesses that reached out to me back then, and then the big brands came into the scene. So yeah, it's all about daring. You have to dare to show up. I was really shy as well. So for anybody listening who's afraid of being on video, afraid of being on camera, that was me. I was very afraid of being on camera. And I decided, all right, these gurus, these experts that I'm following, they're saying you have to do video, you have to do this. Okay, I'll overcome my fear. I mean, it's still there sometimes, but you just get used to it. And so that's what I
Hmm.
did. And it paid off.
Absolutely. I love that. It's still there sometimes, but you get used to it. I think that's a great way of putting it, is that the fear still exists. You just get better at living with the fear and accepting
Correct.
that it's going to be there, but you're going to show up on the videos anyways. I know you mentioned earlier that you originally were teaching in English and then you transitioned back to Spanish. I know that the majority of your content now is in Spanish. And I find it very interesting how you approach a lot of your content, where oftentimes maybe the audio will be in English, but then there will be closed captions or subtitles in Spanish or vice versa. And I'm curious, for anyone who's listening, either if they're specifically asking themselves, about language and what language do I use? What language should I speak in my content? Or even just like the broader person who is maybe trying to figure out their niche and trying to figure out, who do I talk to and what demographic am I going to attract? I'm curious for you, how did you know and how did you decide when to speak English versus when to speak Spanish, when to kind of pivot back to that Spanish speaking market? Was there some tipping point for you, or how was that decision made?
Yeah, that's a good question because I get that a lot. Like people ask me, "Hey, should I do bilingual content, or should I start in English versus Spanish?" Because there's this perception that there's more money in the English language. It may be true to a certain extent, and that was my prejudice when I started. People in the US and Europe and other countries have more money than Latin America, or especially with high ticket products. People in Latin America are not going to pay $500 or $1,000 or $10,000. And so that's why I started with the US market. And also because all the experts I was following were from there. Like everything I was learning was in English. So it came natural to me. If I'm going to share what I'm learning, I'm going to reshare it, in English. But then, what I realized was like a few years into it, it's obviously way more competitive, that market, in doing this in the English language. And so people who knew that I was from Chile, and they were following me, and they probably understood English too. They started asking me, "Can you share this in Spanish?" So people were like, "Can you share this in Spanish? Can you share this in Spanish? Can you translate that?" This was probably around 2013, 14. And then I started doing, that was before AI was a thing. So I started doing videos. Okay, I'm going to do a video where I talk about sales funnels. Okay, I'm going to record it twice. I'm just going to do one in Spanish, and then I'm going to say the same thing in English, right? And so that seemed to work. And then what happened was many of my Spanish videos started to gain more attention, started getting more views than the English ones. Why? Because there was a higher demand and a lower supply for that content. Few people were talking about what I was talking about in Spanish. Everything was in English. Same thing that happened to me when I started. There was no information in Spanish. And if there was, it was a bit weird, or I don't trust this guy, a bit scammy, a bit. And so when I started talking about this stuff, people started appreciating it, thanking me. More people were interested. And then I started realizing, oh, actually, people are willing to pay for this knowledge in Spanish too. Interesting. And then I started seeing people coming out of nowhere, well, seemingly out of nowhere. I'm sure they also had their journey, but it seemed like they came out of nowhere and getting a lot of success in Spanish. So I was like, okay, I better get back into this space.
Yeah.
And obviously, what you referred to with the subtitles and stuff. When I started doing interviews back in 2016, 15, I did my first few interviews I didn't even have a podcast yet. And I started doing interviews for my YouTube channel. When these people started saying yes, Gary Vee, John Lee Dumas, Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, these were the first few people I interviewed. I was like, there's, I guess I'm onto something. I'll start a podcast. And then again, I was like, not many Latinos are interviewing these people the way I am. So let's add subtitles. And so, that's something I continue to do. People are super grateful for it. And again, that also, of course, helps me build my credibility and become kind of a bridge between these experts most of them are not producing any Spanish content, and they don't seem to care, except for you. And so, yeah, that it's something I continue to do, and it's very, very rewarding. Even though I don't, honestly, I don't get the views or the reach that I wish I were getting. But when you get one or two people who thank you for something, that that makes it all worth it.
I love that. That's, I think, hopefully very practical for everyone. I love that you very much listen to the market. Quite literally, people are messaging you, asking for things in Spanish or for things to be translated. And so you followed suit and you delivered on the value that they wanted. Speaking of your podcast, I do want to let anyone know, for anyone listening, I had the honor of being a guest on your podcast. So we'll link that up in the show notes below. And then also you mentioned what we're doing now, which is our InstaClubHub Latin America, our Spanish version of the InstaClubHub. So we'll link that up down in the show notes below. But really what all of this is getting at for me is like your personal brand and how you specifically show up online. And I know you're a real expert when it comes to personal branding. With that being said, something that we always talk about is, if you want to grow your following, you need to niche down. You need to have your niche or your topic that you're talking about. And so I'm curious, how do you balance, or where does niche fit into personal brand? Like, is personal brand just everything that you like to do, and then niche is just like part of that? Or how do you think about these two concepts at the same time?
Mm. Yeah, that's something that a lot of people talk about. And the funny thing is, many of the people who tell you to niche down, you look at them and they are not niching down. They are talking to everyone.
Yep.
And so the way I explain that is, because when I started, yes, people were talking about the niche thing already, obviously. Um, but for me, I never really filtered so much my content. Like, I'm only going to talk to restaurant owners, or I'm only going to talk to women, or
Mm.
I'm only going to talk to people this certain age, or so at the very beginning, I was really discovering this thing. I think the best way to find that niche is to try a few things, And so my content was always very neutral. At least I wasn't like talking to just women like many other like women entrepreneurs seem to do, and many men entrepreneurs also only talk to men, right? Um,
Hmm.
for me, I've always talked to anyone who's listening, pretty much. Um, but at the very beginning, when, like I told you, I was into affiliate marketing. So the first few clients that I got, after I did the social media thing at the beginning, yeah, it was a couple restaurants who hired me for their social media strategy, without me saying I'm only going to work with restaurants, which, by the way, is a very, very tough market,
Hmm. Yeah.
the restaurant business. So it just happened. They just happened to be restaurants, right? But then when I
Mm.
started doing the affiliate stuff and I started coaching people, well, because I was doing affiliate marketing successfully, it only made sense to, well, help other affiliate marketers. So without me pursuing that, it just, again, sort of happened that other affiliate marketers wanted my help. So, okay, I was helping affiliate marketers. And then that evolved into coaches and course creators and experts and people who wanted to build a personal brand. So even speakers, authors. Um, but I never, I mean, today I mostly work with coaches, course creators, personal brands. But I did try. Like, I worked with, I also worked with network marketers because I had the experience, even
Hmm.
though I didn't do so well with that business. I knew, with what I learned in affiliate marketing, I knew that can work for MLMs as well. So I helped some people like that. But I never put myself in a box and I only help these people. There are businesses that I know I'm not comfortable with, like e-commerce. Why? Because I've never
Mm.
done e-commerce. I would feel weird. I'll help you grow your Amazon business. I've never done Amazon. You see what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think sometimes picking that niche has a lot to do with what you are good at. What is that zone where you're super, super confident that you can give somebody results? Where, and I love what Frank Kern says. He says, find, to define your ideal client, find somebody where you have the least friction to get them results.
Mm.
Who can you help get results where it generates the least amount of friction? And what if they only paid you after they got results? So work only with those people,
Mm.
right? So that helped me
Mm.
narrow it down a lot. And then what happens is, after a while, your niche can expand. So I think it's good to niche down. And then once you get comfortable, you can start expanding and helping more people. That's why the big people who say you need to niche down, they themselves are not niching down, is because maybe they did when they started and now they've expanded.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, case in point, Shalene Johnson, the co-host of this podcast, is such a great example of that. Someone who, she now, if you look at her page, there is no niche. My wife and I always joke about, anytime my mom posts about a new topic, we say, "Oh, new niche unlocked," because there's so many different topics, and there's fitness, and there's hormones, and there's business growth,
Yeah.
and there's X, Y, and Z all on her social media. But to your point, most people found out about her or knew about her from 20 years ago, when she was super niche down, when it was just health and wellness, fitness related content. But over time, she's, um, grown and branched out and kind of adopted these other areas to her personal brand. So I think that
Mm,
all very much makes sense to me. Something that you've talked about a few times is affiliate marketing. And I know recently I was a part of a launch that you were also an affiliate for. And it was so cool to see because they would send the leaderboard of this like affiliate launch. And your
yeah.
name was always like right there at the top, right there with like, if anyone listening is thinking of like the biggest names in the industry, your name's right there among them. And also to say for myself, I wasn't even in the top 10. And it was so cool to see your name just reappearing up at the top every single time they would send out like the leaderboard. And so I'd love to just have you share a little bit more about affiliate marketing and some of your top tips and recommendations or strategies for someone who's maybe just finding out about affiliate marketing for the first time.
Absolutely. And affiliate marketing is great when you're starting out. That's one of the reasons I went for it, because you don't need your own product. You don't have to deal with customer service. You don't have to deliver the product. So it's a great business model, as long as you pick the right companies, the right products, obviously. But it's a really cool business model. And, to explain it in a few words, it's just when you take a product or a service, it can be digital, it can be also physical. Um, that, it's a product from somebody else and you promote it and they pay you a commission. So you're like the middleman. And Amazon, for example, is one of the oldest affiliate programs, right? They don't pay very well, but I've attempted to
Mhm.
promote Amazon products. You need so much volume. Like you have to be a super, super, super influencer to make any money with Amazon. But it's basically um, taking somebody else's product and promoting it and earning a commission. And so with digital products, it's way better because there are more margins. The margins are bigger, so they can afford to pay you a better commission. And so when I started affiliate marketing, I was doing high ticket affiliate marketing where they would pay you $1,000, $2,000 commissions, and so on. So it was really cool. Um, as long as there is a funnel that converts, like you definitely want to, if you're going to do this, you want to study the company that you will promote, the products that you will promote. You want to make sure that it's trustworthy because there are some fishy players as always. And again, what I like about it is that you can create content around somebody else's product, right? For example, a review. So many, like if you go on YouTube and you try to find a review for a camera you want to buy or a microphone, you will find affiliate links in the description of every video. And if somebody's promoting a software, right, you will find affiliate links as well. And so I started doing that. I started doing reviews. I started sharing my experience. This is what I'm doing. This is the result I got. This is where you can sign up, and so on. And so today, for example, when I promote Kajabi or ClickFunnels or other systems where I'm an affiliate and I like making content around it, I give value and then I'm like, this is the tool that I'm using. If you're going to teach email marketing, if you want to teach about funnels or anything you want to teach, attach, an affiliate link to it. Also, many things that we use in our business, the software that you're using, right, for your email marketing, for example, or to build your pages, or the books you read, or where you record podcasts, or even ManyChat has an affiliate program. Um, Check if the tools that you're paying every month for your business, do they have affiliate programs, and get signed up. And then when you get a customer and they need to use maybe the same tools that you use, give them your affiliate link. And what I love about that is that whether it becomes a profitable business for you or not, at least those tools will end up paying for themselves. That's how it is for me,
Mhm.
at least. Like I at least get the money back that I'm spending. And if it's more, awesome. So I definitely recommend affiliate marketing to anyone, even if you're just starting out. It's a great way to learn new skills. And if you don't have your own products, also a good way to start. You can also promote people's courses, people's coaching programs, anything really today.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for laying that out. When I first got started, I started this. I created my first website on, I think, what was called Bluehost. I don't use it
I
anymore,
remember
but
that.
it was kind of like a GoDaddy type of website, whereas like you could have your domain there and build a site on there. And this was back in maybe 2015 or 2016. But it was a tool, like you said, that I had learned how to use and something that I had to use for my own business to host my own domain name, my own site. And so I made like an educational tutorial and showed people like how to use Bluehost and kind of walked them through my setup process. And then I included an affiliate link to sign up for Bluehost. And it was literally exactly what you just said. It wasn't necessarily going to pay the bills, but it was something that covered the cost of having the domain name every month. And so I love that. You spoke about funnels, though. And I know that's a big key to your success. I know that's something that you teach. Can you help me understand a little bit more about maybe what goes into affiliate funnels and what are things that people should consider? I'm sure there's people listening who are like, what the heck even is a funnel? They're just thinking of the plastic thing that you use to scoop powder into your water. Like, what is a funnel? How does it work? And how does it specifically work for like an affiliate product?
I love that. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the plastic thing. So, well, in general terms, funnel is it's pretty much it is a website, right? But it's a website that has a specific objective, like a very specific goal. So, for example, if I want people to download an ebook, instead of sending them to my main website where there's a lot of distractions, my blog, the products that I sell, about me, there's an about me section, there's a contact form. A typical website has a menu bar with a bunch of things. And so if I send people there, when all I want them to do is download an ebook, they're going to get lost and distracted. So you create a funnel for your ebook or your video or your webinar or your podcast where the only focus is I want you to give me your name and email and download this thing. Or I just want you to subscribe to my podcast. Or I just want you to attend this webinar. And so the only purpose, it's very focused and it only has one purpose. Or I want you to buy this product. When there's a funnel that is only selling one product instead of an entire store. So that's what I love about funnels is that they're very specific. And of course, having a website is great. I have my website. It helps a lot with Google, SEO, etc., with branding, but it's not the best lead generator out there because you got to put a lot of things on your website. And so a funnel is what I would recommend. And it's called a funnel because you will have, you can have a lot of visitors at the top, and then those visitors turn into interested people. They either opt in for something, and then there are less people that are going to buy something, and then there are even less people that are going to buy something else or buy again. And so it goes like this, right? It goes like a funnel from
Mhm.
really wide, and then it starts becoming more narrow. So if a funnel has the goal of converting people who are curious into prospects, and then hopefully into customers, and then clients, and then of course fans or repeat customers. And for affiliate marketing,
Gotcha.
you were mentioning the affiliate competition that we were both in just a few months ago. Um, if you're promoting somebody else's product, of course there are many other people promoting the same thing. So you still have to find a way to differentiate yourself and stand out. So Brock was promoting this, I was promoting this, and like from what I've heard, another 700 people were promoting the same thing. Not everybody got results. Not everybody got sales. Not everybody got prospects, interest, leads. But how do you stand out? You start creating content around the offer. You have your own funnel so that the page looks different from everybody else's page. Because when you have an affiliate link, it's basically the same link for everyone with just either a variation or a cookie or a tracker, but the page looks the same. So,
Mm.
how do you stand out? You create your own page, you create your own content, your own video, your own review. And so that works, like I said, that works for physical products, courses, software, anything. And having your own funnel also allows you to capture the leads, right? If somebody opts in, because they're interested in checking out what you're promoting, but then they don't buy, then you at least capture their contact details and you can follow up with them. And then, you do your own follow up. And then maybe they don't buy this thing, but then they buy another thing. So the
Mhm.
value of building that email list, even as an affiliate, is also what really motivates me to participate in other people's affiliate competitions, because I still get to build my list. And if I make commissions, awesome. I also build the list in the process. Of course, you got to
Awesome.
build a relationship and all of that, but it's a very useful tool.
Yeah. That totally makes sense to me. I'm curious in your actual campaign, let's say during this launch that was just a few months ago that we keep speaking about, how many emails are you sending to your email list throughout that campaign or throughout that launch, roughly?
A lot. Well, usually when I participate in an affiliate launch, I try to start promoting at least 2 days in advance, like 2 days before the big event or the big webinar, where they're selling the actual product. So at least 2 weeks in advance, I start emailing. So that's one email a day at least. And then when it's like, hey, it's tomorrow or it's today, the day that is happening, then I send maybe 2 or 3 emails that day.
Mm.
And then I continue to email once a day until, the cart closes. Because when you have a launch, whether it's affiliate launch or your own launch, there's usually a day where you open registrations or you open the cart. And then there's a day where you close the cart, where
Mhm.
either the product is no longer available or the offer is no longer available. So you can still buy the product, but now you don't get the free gifts or bonuses or incentives or discounts or whatever. So when the deadline comes, I also send maybe 3 or 4 emails that day. So it
Wow.
can be very intense. Yes, you'll get a few people to unsubscribe, and that's fine. I mean, it's better. It's good that people
Mhm.
unsubscribe because, well, they were not interested to begin with. And it makes room for new people who may be interested in what you're selling. So, email marketing has been also a very powerful tool for me, and I use it in affiliate marketing and also when I'm promoting my own stuff as well.
Gotcha. And I love that you said that, you want them to unsubscribe and you think of it as a good thing. Having an unsubscribe from an email list, I would compare it to having an unfollow on social media. It might feel bad, it might hurt your ego in the moment, but
Yeah.
you have to remember that it's a good thing because that person leaving is for a reason. They're leaving because it wasn't right for them. They weren't ready at this time. Maybe they'll come back in the future, but if nothing else, it's making space for that right person. And so I love that. But that's you weren't kidding when you said a lot of emails. That's 10 to 14 emails over a 2-week period, and then having 2 to 3 emails on the cart open or the day of the webinar or whatever, and then 2 or 3 emails on the cart close. How do you come up with like what goes in those emails? Are they 17 paragraph long emails? Are they all super short? Does it go back and forth? Do you put value in each of them? Like, I'm curious what goes into the actual emails for the affiliate launches.
Well, I pretty much use the same strategy for my own launches too, but it's basically you don't want to just send emails that are reminders. And this is a mistake that people make when they're promoting something as affiliate or their own thing. Hey, three
Mhm.
days to go. We start in 2 days. We start next week. And then people open those emails and they all look the same. It's just a reminder. Hey, just sending this email to remind you that in 3 days we're having our masterclass, blah, 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 and then it's 2 days and 1 day and so on. Same with, hey, it's open, it closes in 3 days, it closes in 2 days, right? So, yes, there's a time and a place for those. For me, it's like maybe the last couple emails are, hey, we're starting in 1 hour. So, yeah, I definitely want to put some urgency in the fact that time
Mhm.
is running out, or it's closing in 1 hour. But that doesn't mean that you cannot add some content or some value in those emails. And so what I do is I do a mix between content and testimonials and stories. So I can share my own story with the product. I can share somebody else's story, like a testimonial. I can also teach people how to, use the thing that we're promoting. You can also generate curiosity. So this is what we're going to cover in this class, or this is why you need to be in this class. You're going to learn this, and this. So you also start sharing some benefits. And then you always have to have a bonus offer. Again, you have to differentiate yourself. Why should I buy from you when I can buy from somebody else the same thing? Well, because my bonus is better, right? So you want to learn how to create compelling offers and not just rely on, oh, this thing is so good, it's going to sell itself. No, nothing sells itself. uh, maybe iPhones kind of still sell themselves, but most products require some kind of incentive of offer, especially as an affiliate. So if you have a bonus offer, yes, you also want to talk about that in your emails. This is what you're going to get: access to this, and the benefits. Always, always be benefit oriented and not so much, you know, characteristics. Yeah, sure, it's 4 modules of the course. If you're selling a course, each module is 60 minutes, whatever. Sure, people may be curious about that, but they really want to know, what are they going to get when they finish module 1? What am I going to get when I finish module 2? Or the software, what am I going to be able to do with this software? I don't necessarily need to know where it's been built, or how the code works. I want to know what I can do with this. So you can also do videos, and this is another thing I do, right? I do video reviews, I do walkthroughs, and I send this in my emails. So literally, if I'm promoting something as an affiliate, and like I said, this works the same if it's your own product or affiliate product. I buy the product, obviously. I'm not going to promote something I wouldn't be willing to buy. So I buy it, and then I make a video and I walk them through, hey, this is what it looks like on the inside, to make it more tangible. So once you log in, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to click here. This is what you're going to do. This is how it works. All right. So click the link, get enrolled, right? So that I've had people who have thanked me. Hey, thanks so much for showing what it looks like, because that again makes it more tangible. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is what I'm going to get. All right, I see. This is the software. This is what it can do. So I alternate, the emails between like I said, the reminders, what you get, testimonials, reviews, some content. For example, with Dean Graciosi's launch and with Tony, I always do an interview with Dean. So again, I also share my interview with Dean, right? And there are other affiliate promotions where the creator also offers to do interviews with a few people. Awesome. I do an interview. Now I have another piece of content that I can share to continue to incentivize people to join this thing. And even if you're a small affiliate, you're just getting started, you're not going to get an interview, that's okay. You can still do everything else I just said. You can still share your experience. You can still do a review. You can still, it's, something I did once. I was also promoting Tony and Dean's thing. And I was in their Facebook group and I was watching people's testimonials. Like, they were just posting their results. Oh, I did my first launch, or I did my first course, and this is the result. And I would reach out to some of those people and ask them, hey, can I do a quick interview with you? And I interviewed a few of their clients. And I used that for my content. And, people want to see other people getting results with the thing that you're selling.
Wow. That is that's so smart. That strategy right there. I'm just thinking of literally anyone listening today who is an affiliate for basically any product, but especially like a digital product, something where people are learning something, or where there's like a clear, result that they're going to get, a benefit out of it, a before and after, if you will. Wow, like that's so smart to reach out to the people who are already sharing their wins. Like, I'm picturing, like, if someone's an affiliate for any course or any online entrepreneur, and they can find those testimonials, then interview them, because everyone wants to talk about themselves. And so now you're getting to interview these testimonials, these people who have had these wins. They're sharing their story, so they enjoy it. You are getting content, so it's a win for you. And then you can use that content to then turn around and be an affiliate, or make more affiliate sales or conversions. That is such a genius strategy. Caroline, I wish we had more time to continue diving into all of the other areas of expertise that you have with AI and personal branding and helping, coaches really scale their online business. So I just want to say thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. I know this has been so helpful for everyone listening. And I'll let you kind of share any last words that you have with our audience before we wrap up today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm happy in the future to do, follow up with you and talk about some more stuff. I'd
Definitely.
love that. So, anybody listening or watching, well, first of all, thank you for listening to us. And I hope you got at least one idea, one takeaway, one thing you can do today for your business. If you want to dive into affiliate marketing, that's awesome. But just keep going. For me, it was like I said at the beginning, I started studying these things in 2008. I didn't really get like the big results until 2012. So that was a 4-year process for me. And people today are even less patient than back then.
Yeah.
People today, they're not going to wait 3 months or a month even. They're going to try something. This doesn't work. I mean, imagine if I had quit and I said, this social media thing doesn't work or this internet marketing business thing doesn't work. I wouldn't be here today. So be patient, keep going, keep testing new things. Find that thing that works. Find that thing, if you're passionate about something, follow that passion as well. And if you're doing something, at least, even if you're not super passionate about it, at least be interested in it. Like don't because this is a mistake that I made, of course, at the beginning. Like I would try a few things that I wasn't even interested in. And that's also why they didn't work. But
Mhm.
find that thing, try some things, get your feet wet, see what you like, and keep learning, from people like Brock. He's really cool guy, really knowledgeable guy. Find role models, find people that's what I did, find role models, find people who are already where you want to be and who can help you skip a few steps, maybe not all of them. You still have to do the work. There's no easy, simple overnight success solution that doesn't exist. But you can sure get some shortcuts. That's for sure. You don't have to.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to take 4 years, like it did for me. But yeah, just be ready to find that thing, that passion, and if you help other people along the way, even better.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening today. I will link up Carolina's socials and all of her links down below in the show notes. I appreciate you for watching and or listening today. And I really just want to encourage you to just get started. Her joke and our laugh about people not having the same patience nowadays, I don't know if that's totally true. It definitely feels true to me. I might just be being dramatic. But patience is huge. And patience isn't sexy. Patience is never talked about. I've never once gotten a question about patience. And yet patience is something that I could talk about every single day because it's that necessary for growing online. So whether you're becoming an affiliate marketer, whether you're growing your email list, whether you're launching a podcast, no matter what you are doing to make money online, patience is key. Keep showing up, keep being consistent, and have the patience to stick with the strategies that are proven to be effective. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week. And as always, happy networking.